Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to another Rookie Card Collector 123 video. In today's episode, we are going to continue our top 10 early cards of Baseball Hall of Famers in alphabetical order. Today's Hall of Famer is going to be Luke Appling, a former great shortstop for the Chicago White Sox during the 1930s and 1940s. Nicknamed Old Aches and Pains. So Luke Appling, first card appearance and the traditionally accepted rookie card, at least by those who accept postcard size cards as rookie cards, falls in the 1931 to 1932 4-on-1 exhibits. Now, these were the same exhibit supply company issues from the 20s. In the 30s, they started to make most of their penny arcade cards depicting 4 players instead of 1 on the same card. So each player appeared in a box in the top left, top right, bottom left, and bottom right on the card. Typically, the 4 players per card almost always played for the same team, so all 4 players were part of the same ball club. So for example, the Luke Appling card, which is in the 31-32 set, pictures him on the Chicago White Sox, along with 3 other Chicago White Sox ball players. And that was kind of the case just about every 4-on-1 exhibit throughout the 30s when they produced those. Up until 38, I believe, was the last year before the 39 Salutation exhibit started their run. So Appling appears on the 31-32 exhibit, his only issue, which came out in 31. Second card for Appling came out, some people say 32, some people call it a 33 set. It's one of the last strip card issues, so it's actually notated in the American card catalog as W574. They were black and white, actual photograph strip cards. Similar size to the Gaudi cards from that era. And very difficult to find. Populations on most of these W574s are probably in the five cards per player range. Some of them under, a few of them probably over the more popular players. But very tough card to find. If you don't like calling postcards rookie cards, for Luke Appling, this would probably be the next best option for a rookie. It's more like a standard size card, similar to the Gaudis. Third Luke Appling card that comes up here today, we have the 34 4-on-1 exhibits. So very similar to the 31-32. The 34 was another issue picturing 4 players, usually from the same team on the same card. Appling appears on there with White Sox teammates. A second 1934 Appling appearance comes on a super rare card. This one is a really strange shaped card. It kind of looks almost like a popsicle stick. And these are called 1934 Al DeMarie die cuts. They picture line drawings of ball players. There's a Babe Ruth in the set, a bunch of other Hall of Famers. But line drawings in the bottom, they identify the player, the position, the team. They're kind of a crude drawing style, I guess you would call it. They're not real photos. They do somewhat depict the player that they're picturing on there. Almost all of these are probably populations of 5 and under. Very rare set to encounter. And oversized. These are gradable. They fit in the SGC and the PSA oversized card cases, and the grading companies do grade them. Next card I have for Appling, not really a card, but it's a 1935 to 37, so these were issued over 3 years. Was a baseball photographer, a sports photographer named George Burke. He produced a bunch of stamps, portraits of baseball players of almost all the major league teams. Almost all the players were photographed by him at some point during that 1935 to 37 period. These are not encountered very often at all. Population reports from the grading companies on these, again, is probably going to be in the under 5 range, I would say. Not easy to find. Next Luke Appling we have is a 1936. This one is a little bit more common, but again, not far from being mainstream. It's not like a Gowdy. It's an S&S Games Luke Appling card. This comes from a board playing game series, kind of similar to the National game, Tom Barker game, and the Fan Craze game from the earlier 20th century. This was one of the few game cards put out during the 30s. S&S Games is the name of the company. Appling appears on there. It's a black and white card. Next up, also issued in 36, the first time that Luke Appling appears in a Wheaties cereal box. The back panel of the box pictures Appling in an action photo, along with a write-up on some of his exploits, some Wheaties advertising, and Major League Baseball. Ideally, you want to have the complete back panel of the box to have it graded by the grading companies. Anything less than the complete panel, if it's just Appling cut out by himself or anything like that, it can get just an authentic altered on the grading card holder. Next Appling is another scarce one. This one is a popular set. It's 1936. These were produced in Canada. They were by Worldwide Gum, which is basically the Canadian version of Gowdy, the gum company that made the popular U.S. cards in the 30s, mid-30s. These are in black and white, mostly portrait type shots, and Luke Appling appears in there. At that point, that's about 5 years into his baseball card days. Next up, we have the 1937. There's an Appling in there, very scarce issue to find. These are cataloged in the American Card Catalog as BF 104s. These are felt pennants that have a line drawing depiction of the player, such as Appling with the name usually alongside the image. Very tough to find. These are, I believe, gradable. I think they usually get authentics from the grading card companies. They're a little bit oversized, but they're not huge like the team pennants and that kind of stuff. And the 10th and last Luke Appling we're going to look at is, again, not a card, but this one is the originally cataloged as 1936 Overland candy wrappers. Have since been dated a little bit later. I would go with 1938 to 1940. Appling appears in these candy wrappers. Again, it's going to be a line drawing depiction of the player with a little bio. Candy came wrapped inside these wrappers, sort of a wax paper type of thing, so they're not paper, they're not cards. Extremely difficult to find. Population numbers on just about all these are going to be under 5 for any of these. And these are gradable by the grading companies. If you don't have the complete wrapper, they will just get authentic or authentic altered. If you have the complete wrapper, it is possible to get a number grade. Most times these would have been creased as they wrapped around the candy, and as they were opened, a lot of them had pieces torn off. So extremely rare to find a higher grade, nice condition example from here. So that wraps up today's episode for Luke Appling. Next in the series of Hall of Fame top 10 early cards to collect and look out for the Luke Appling player collector, Chicago White Sox fan. Hopefully you learned about some new cards today, and We'll continue the next series with the next episode alphabetically in the next day or so. So that'll be out there. Keep a lookout for that. Otherwise, I hope you have a great day, and I'll catch you guys on the next one.